we had a meeting and it was discussed that we, in a license department, Buffalo Pasture Department, go get 10, 15 head, have them processed, and distribute them to the elderly. Because y'all get some. Distribute them to the elderly, diabetic, in schools, churches, etc., etc. Okay, EPA. EPA is working on a new water code for the tribe. And noxious weeds, they're working on a lot of plans. So we have a good EPA staff, very knowledgeable, and they're working on, especially the water code, the Clean Water Act. And they're going to put support to try to get it to committee. Fish and Game. I like to call them the Conservation Department. Fish and Game Department is not cops. You don't want to be cops. We are Fish and Game Conservation Department. And the National Native American National Native American Fish and Wildlife Association or Society or something like that. They want to help us reintroduce the black-footed ferret on the Crow Reservation. If we reintroduce the black-footed ferret on the Crow, that's dollars to the tribe. Initial payment plus every successful transplant, dollars to the tribe. They're going to help us. So we're going to move on that one too. We put forth a grant for the protection of the sage grouse on the Crow. If we get that, that's additional dollars to the tribe. That society is going to help us on that too. Okay, here comes the last one. Tribal forestry. Amen. At the present time, tribal forestry, the elected officials, and natural resources are in negotiation with the affiliated tribes to build homes, stick homes, log homes. We are going to put a sawmill in Pryor, lots grass. We're going to put a peeler in Pryor to peel log homes. We're going to put a post and pole yard in Pryor to treat the log homes and the post and poles. We are going to pay tribal members to go up there and get those posts and poles and bring it down, and we'll buy them. We'll buy them from the tribal members. The treatment center for the log homes, the peelers, treatment center, and the posts and poles, cutters, peelers, everything will be Pryor. And there'll be another one, the stick home sawmill will be in Muskrat. I don't know the exact locations, but that's where they'll be at. As soon as we get the go-ahead, we're gonna purchase these sawmills, dealers, all the equipment necessary to what I just said. We're gonna go purchase them. The affiliated tribes are gonna purchase them for us. We in turn buy them back. The tribe will buy them back later down the road. One thing that I was really, I almost hooped and hollered when the chairman said this. He said, even if they don't use our stick to build homes, let's build our own homes. On the Crow, with help from housing, build our own homes.
Calvin. No, the floor is now open for questions and comments. I guess I'll make a kind of a question was in regards to the water code. You're meaning the water quality code, right?
Right.
Okay, because
Yeah.
CJ is working on the water code, the
Yeah.
regular water code, so, okay. All right, floor is now open, floor right is Duke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Secretary, members of the body, and yes, directors, cabinet heads, vice chair. Bakpo na za budget clear cut.
No, select cut.
Select cut.
On the long homes, you have to realize it has to be select cut. You can only get certain diameters for long homes. And basically, I say 80 to 85% of the trees we cut in prior will be for long homes. So it would not be clear cut, I guarantee you that. Plus, we're going to develop we're in a planning process of developing a greenhouse, a nursery. So we get the seeds from prior, take them to the nursery, and get saplings and seedlings and plant them back to prior. If we buy them in flathead, bring them over here and plant them in a different soil, you have about 85% mortality. But if we use our own soil, our own seeds and everything, you'll have an 85% success rate. But there will be no clear cuts in the prior area.
Шутка, ухвалим, но бизнес шутка. They like put it Ferris night is what is it that they have? Chipbat, what 1,500 get out of it for that. Then you can release a couple. Look at that, so just get out.
You need 5 acres, a couple. What they told me was you need about 5 acres per pair. And even over there at those microwave towers, we can release about 20 pair up there. And other sites, as soon as we get them on the map.
Yeah, if Bakwa, if Chuba, then they get if also piece, they get fish, they get cut off, they get perfect.
Well, she'll measure it days. I'll give it 2 years and they go in and sit there, like for a trash, he might have.
Floor is still open. Floor is open.
Hope. بجينا جبتاجة الأجا وهاوك بجينا قولا يجي student. Are they open or show Raja, or do you have somebody that's going to be there to chase them back into the pasture?
We have a buffalo rangers, bison rangers that chase them back. What I didn't mention if you read on there on the buffalo pasture, we tend to improve and fix to get the fence and the gate this year. And They go out. You've seen them, they go out, and in the fall, they come back. They come back on their own. And they go back into the buffalo pasture.
Then Buffalo, then I'll get a go look. Ihonkai, which probably about 5+ years ago, I think there was about 1,300. If it is still, or if it's lower, do we have the capacity to put more in there?
We have close to 2,000 head up there. The capacity right now for up there is 800. We're gonna have to harvest some buffalo, and we're gonna have to find different locations for them to pasture. And we're working on that now. We're not just gonna keep all of them in the mountains. We have different areas we're considering right now.
Maybe that new ranch that was purchased a while back?
We can, the Arrow Creek Ranch can, AUMs, we can pasture 23 head there. So we gotta go by AUMs. And there's other areas that we're looking into now where we're we have a couple individuals that specialize in that, tribal members that go out and do that for us.
Oh,
Thank you, floor is Pat. Thank you, Speaker, members of the body, guests. Mr. Herrera, I got a question that kind of right up your alley. So, I mean, back in 2010, CTLB 1007, the Bighorn District, we got signatures for an act to make unlawful any hunting of wild bighorn sheep within the exterior boundaries of the Crow Indian Reservation into establishment of a comprehensive long-term management program. And the reason that we kind of was leaning forward, there's a section in here to asking to even authorize federal grants and other outside source funding to go after this area. And I know we have to revamp and update our fish and game code. And hopefully that's kind of something that we're leaning towards and working with the Legislative Natural Resource Committee and moving in that direction, revamping that code, because I know it's needing updated. It's been a while since that's been updated. I'm gonna kind of wanted to remind the Natural Resource on this, and I'll get you a copy when we're at.
How would I state this? We have a fish and game code, Title 12, okay? Which was passed by you folks and signed by the chairman, okay? Why reinvent the wheel? Let's add some amendments to it and make it better. Am I correct?
Floor is Arnold Calderon, the new CJ.
Thank you. The reintroduction of bison and buffalo grass since back in the 70s. I was involved with fixing fences and crossing the area before. That's in that Oakland as a fishing game. And the process of every year of years, they much cheated. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, as well. You can only hold approximately 620 head. All these years, it's been over 50 to 2,000 head bison a year. Once a cows start calving out, we're trying to get the approximate number of calves, and within a year or two, 3-year-olds will not move. If you look at that, that adds up. And I get you all again, buffalo pasture, trade either with the Sioux or somebody with the bulls. I think an inbred could have been all, they slice them off. And they call them, brucellosis free. The last time we vaccinated bison was back in '96. I worked for deal with it, and with the help of few Fish and Wildlife Service biologists, all of now Buffalo Pasture, Fish and Game, crew law. We were up there for over a month, gathering, vaccinating buffalo. And the more important, wildlife, could have what we see, what we do, people spotlighting and all that. We try to get a count on spotlighters, could have, I get the big wolves that died, buffalo, deer, elk, bear, whatever. The crew, actual count could have it, too, probably get the input could have, we give it to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. From there, they make an estimate of how much they can help us, the tribe, to re-enhance the wildlife on the reservation, even the fisheries, the birds. Black-footed parrots, one introduction, one parrot could that cost you, that generate money for a tribe, 15,000. They don't realize they never worked out there what we do. And I go good, but I question for that sap, you can take a off the baby. And not my neighborhood, they don't realize the hardships. Sometimes you break down and you have to walk home. Sometimes you run out of gas even. Food. On my own, I carried a lot of flour and root. But when I tried to live off the land, how you could have, back in the 70s, I had to work as a buffalo manager and a fishing game, two departments kind of there. I never got paid for 3 months. I never complained. I like being out there, man. And I got black-footed ferret, I had breed stock of fisheries. That wouldn't have to Crow tribe, but I can show them. The U.S. government, they have the money to help us out. All we have to do is utilize it, get it going. That money will generate itself. As well as the timber. I look at natural research about all to do. We just learn how to do it right. Oh.
No, over to CJ.
Mr. Speaker, Vice Chairman, Secretary, members of the body and guests. I wanted to, if any of you head on Facebook and kind of see what's going on with they have a page, introduction of trout into the streams and different things that are going on there. They do have some videos of different hunts that have occurred. But one of the questions that has arose, and I know verbally I was told an amount that has been generated, but we have never received that report. A lot of that money had just went into the general fund, and so I kind of questioned. The reason why I asked that question was because when I was told there was an amount of money, and then come to find out, our rangers and fish and game boys were putting on that tournament so they go to Utah and kind of showcase Crow. And I thought we had all this money. How come we can't use some of that for that trip? And so it kind of got me thinking. But then everything went into general fund and the abyss. And so it'd be great. I have yet. Maybe you can be the first. I have yet to see a report on any of the income that natural resources that generated off of our wildlife in Buffalo. And that right there is considered a trust asset that I believe that we should have some, because we get a lot of questions. Everybody's asking if our buffalo pasture can only house so many animals, then on top of that, there's a lot of deer and elk and different animals in there as well as wolves. Then when they do sell buffalo, who are they selling it to and how much? Because a lot of the folks, we go everywhere, there's a buffalo burger and buffalo steaks, and they make good money off of it. And buffalo is lean. Good diabetic meat, food for the diabetics. And we have that here. We have the largest buffalo herd next to Yellowstone Park. There's no reason why, we got the largest buffalo herd in Indian country. And so, I kind of wanted to understand where we're at on that. That's one part of my question. The other part is, May 7th of last year, we introduced a joint action resolution between myself, co-sponsor, and Darren as the sponsor. And Secretary Nonafrid, myself, and Dal Avador, and I believe there was maybe one or two other, but I don't remember who they were. But we gave notice to the state, Mike Valesky, Fish and Wildlife, state of Montana, giving them notice that we are going to exercise our treaty rights in hunting, because we never did exhaust those rights. We never gave them up, and we preserved them in the 51, the 68, and all the sessions from the 1882, the 1890, and 1904. And the other joint action resolutions that pertain to that was, that's right under your department and my committee, is all the islands that have mid-channel of the Yellowstone that we put a claim on, and I believe Senator Collins presented that resolution. We talked to BLM, they're well aware of it. Again, Secretary Nonafrid, myself, we presented that. And the other one, I believe, is the issue pertaining to the National Park Service. We gave them notice that the store is going to close if they do not come to the table on negotiating of the violation of the right-of-way to our marina. And so the time has come to where I believe that a few of us have stood together and decided that, hey, it's time that the Crow tribe quit being used and abused and reused. And that we put our foot down by resolution. We gave notice. Now Superintendent Jerry Case, he stepped out the door. There's probably an acting superintendent from what I've heard. He doesn't want to be involved in this issue. And I'd like to, Mr. Herrera, revive those initiatives.
Okay, I'll start with the Park Service. I'm an ex-park ranger, you're well aware. The chairman signed a letter of intent to 638 Bighorn Canyon. Okay? Instead of fighting over the right-of-way, why not take the whole darn thing? Correct? That way we don't have nobody fight amongst ourselves, I guess. But he signed a letter of intent to 638 Bighorn Canyon. Okay? And on the dollars that the Fishing Game and the Buffalo Bison Management Department get, I set up a different, excuse me, cost code with finance, where all the income from the buffalo, all the income from Fishing Game goes into that account. I set that up last year. I don't know the exact dollar amount that went in, but I can sure find out for you, because we have receipts for every penny that come into those departments. We double check by the permit person and the captain and the director for bison and the director for Fishing Game. They cross-check every penny, make sure that everything goes into the tribe. Oh yeah, one thing I failed to mention was that we have a new director for Fishing Game, Yo-Yo. He was appointed, one of you that was here before, is the director for Fishing Game now. That dollar amount, we have set up a different cost code for that. And I cannot tell you why Fishing Game and the Buffalo had to do a basketball tournament and a fundraiser to go. I couldn't tell you that. You'd have to ask the CPAs, finance, Marlon. And, did I answer all your questions?
There's nothing wrong with basketball. I'm just saying that, you know, that's great, and it was fun. You know, we took second. And, the thing was that in order for us to brag about our department, I wanted to make a request for those numbers, so we can give it to the respective districts and we can kind of answer some of these questions that are out there.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, floor recognizes Paul Splatterhorse. We'll let him be the last one here.
Hello, Speaker, Secretary, Chairman, visitors. What I wanted to know was, then Buffalo said that each district could have, we're gonna give them 10 harvest guys, are they just gonna go up there and,
No, we're gonna go with them.
yeah, go get what you get, are you gonna like make sure that they get the older bulls first, or like, what else, they get the old ones out of there and leave for like, future?
Well, there has to be a mixture, right?
Yeah.
But we are gonna go after older bulls
Mhm.
because of what Lucky said.
Yeah.
We have a lot of inbred up there. So most of them are inbreds, and Viatic is just a portion. Because you know, we work up there, they're groups, different groups. And we want to reintroduce bulls. And you know what, if we reintroduce a young bull, the mobile is gonna kill it, right? Okay, so we're gonna have to harvest the old one and reintroduce the young bulls.
Look, I just wanted to know, like, they're not just gonna go up there and slaughter them, go
No,
chase the
no,
others.
no, no, no.
Because, 9 times out of 10, when I was up there going after buffalo sometimes from some of the schools, they know what to look at, oh my gosh, it's a slaughter up there, it's a hush dog, but then you gotta clean up after that.
I will not allow that,
Okay.
yeah. I will not allow that.
Okay, thank you. Let's take a 10-minute recess. Time is now 3:12.
Second deployment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.